What's up, guys? Welcome back to Diesel Creek.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Diesel Creek. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. Well, it finally happened.
Matt Stetar was a fixture in Diesel Creek, dragging crane ropes, turning rusty bolts, revving engines in thick plumes of smoke. Then one day, he disappeared from the screen. The audience began to realize something had changed. There was a long silence as the machines remained still. All eyes were on the same direction. Where had Matt gone? This video leaves no stone unturned. The answers are real, they're happening, and they're all coming out loud and clear, right here.
The fuel filter situation. As you guys saw there, we had a leak on the filter. I tried to put a new O-ring, a new gasket.
Starting in late 2023, Diesel Creek began to experience a noticeable change in its pace. Its once regular weekly video schedule shifted to a gap of almost a month between videos. The channel's signature content streams, like the restoration of a vintage truck, were interrupted without warning. Viewers noticed the change immediately. The difference was that this time there was no explanation, no on hiatus title, no video update, no message, but everything was documented with concrete, verifiable facts.
Well, we got all these decals removed here. That was quite a chore. Back here where the machine has been swung into things over the years. Ooh, there's a cable poking me in the back. That hurts.
Matt Stetar isn't quitting Diesel Creek. He's not quitting content. What's happening is he's overseeing one of the biggest transformations since the channel's inception. In his A Few Points from Perfect podcast, recorded in early 2025, Matt confirmed that he's taking the lead in building a brand new workshop, more than just an extension of his home. It's a complex for heavy engineering projects, big enough to fit industrial equipment inside. Every step of the process, from digging the foundations to installing steel columns to moving in machinery, is chronicled on Diesel Creek's Instagram page. The old factory could no longer accommodate the projects Matt wanted to tackle in the next phase. Restoring large equipment, older industrial machines, or heavy-framed vintage trucks required completely different space, power, and lifting equipment. Matt had to manage every aspect of the expansion himself, from the design, to the material contracts, to the installation and testing. As a result, video production time had to be reduced to focus on preparing the infrastructure.
It does pretty good for not showing the dirt. As you guys can tell, the decal stripe up here is in very rough shape. I'm going to replace that eventually. What do you guys think a good nickname for this truck would be? I think Greta.
It wasn't just the increased workload, but the quality and technical demands of the expansion phase that slowed things down to ensure standards were met. Videos during this time were fewer, but they maintained the same length, editing quality, and technical depth. Each small project was still handled with care. Each reboot was a true restoration. No loss of quality was made just to maintain the upload schedule. What some people are confused about is that Diesel Creek has been operating at a high pace for years. The reduced video frequency, combined with Matt's usual reticence, has left many viewers wondering. But all signs point to Diesel Creek not slowing down. Social media feeds are constantly updated with images of the construction site's steel, scaffolding, supports, concrete foundations. Matt's trucks appear on site, with laser measuring equipment, mixers, and enough material to build a new industrial-grade facility.
I found out after I bought it that I know the gentleman that listed it in the auction. He said he set it up here as a running unit.
Instead of making videos about being busy, Matt lets the work speak for itself. Every step is documented with photos, behind-the-scenes videos, and snippets of ongoing engineering projects. He hasn't pulled out of any projects. They're all in transition. Some series are interrupted simply because equipment is being moved to a new space, or because construction conditions don't allow for filming to resume as planned. Matt hasn't changed the structure of Diesel Creek, either. He's still the one doing all the work on the videos, from operating the machines, to disassembling and repairing them, to editing them. His wife, Matt Stetar, is still helping out behind the scenes, just as she always has. There's been no change in staff, no sign of a departure from content, and certainly no departure from YouTube. The only thing that's changed is the scale of the work, and so the pace of production has been temporarily slowed to ensure quality and accuracy. Anyone who has been following along has seen it clearly. This change is not a break, but an upgrade. Diesel Creek isn't stopping. It's ramping up, getting ready to take on the next level. No announcement videos, no loud explanations. The shop is being built, the equipment is being moved, the projects are still happening, and Matt is still standing there, hands greasy, eyes following every cut of the saw. It's real, and it's happening right now. And it was this turning point that led people to want to understand more deeply who was keeping the whole system running so steadily, without interruption, without deviation, without change. That journey began with a man named Matt Stetar. Matt Stetar lives west of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where heavy industry and large construction projects are still a big part of the local community. Before he became the founder of Diesel Creek Canal, he was a professional laborer in the pipeline industry, one of the most technical, physically demanding, and disciplined industries. Not from a studio or editing room, Matt started with excavators, pipes, dirt, and long days on the job. He didn't choose the camera to tell a story. The work chose him. From an early age, Matt loved taking things apart to see what was inside. His technical curiosity didn't stop with toys. He moved on to motorcycles, lawn mowers, then trucks, excavators, diesel engines. There were no manuals or instructors involved. Learning by doing and making mistakes was how he developed his skills. His belief was simple: no machine was too old to throw away. At the time, YouTube began to emerge as a platform for sharing hands-on knowledge. Matt was still working in the field. His days ended with the smell of oil and the sound of engines in his ears. But he gradually realized there were plenty of people out there who loved to restore machines, but didn't have the space, tools, or time to do it. And so Diesel Creek was born not as a business, but as a space to share his approach to problems, to fix the damage, and to turn the scrap into something useful. What's unique about Matt's approach to running his channel is that he never separates the technical from the personal. He makes videos the way he repairs machines, meticulously, quietly, and without gimmicks. Viewers watch Diesel Creek not just to be entertained, but to learn how to think, how to observe, and how to do the details. That makes Matt a hard character to replace because he doesn't play a mechanic online. He's the one doing the job, with all the experience, habits, and instincts that an amateur can't fake. His wife, Matt Stetar, is rarely seen on camera, but plays a key role behind the scenes. She has experience as an account manager and has since moved to assist Matt with tasks like shooting, managing merchandise, placing orders, and even occasionally editing videos. Diesel Creek doesn't have a large team structure. Most things fall to Matt and Reagan. This not only maintains quality control, but also creates consistency in the channel's tone and approach. Matt's family has suffered many losses. His father, Matt Stetar Sr., and his mother, Pearl Allison Stetar, both passed away. He also lost a sister in 2020. Nonetheless, Matt has never mentioned these things in his videos, although he has acknowledged them in interviews. It's his way of protecting his personal space, separating work from his personal life, not letting his emotions affect how he presents his content. Most viewers don't know about these losses because Matt has never used them to gain attention. Audiences may come to Diesel Creek for the machines, but they stay for the people running them, a human who doesn't need to say much to make people listen. And that's the foundation that has helped Diesel Creek gain a foothold in the volatile world of YouTube, where time running backwards. When Diesel Creek first became popular, it wasn't the visual effects, the catchy soundtrack, or the fast-paced editing that made it stand out. It was the rawness of it all: an abandoned car, an engine that hadn't worked for decades, a small workshop with natural light, and the only man in the frame, Matt Stetar. He wasn't performing, he was working, and viewers felt it from the first second. Diesel Creek grew at a time when audiences were tired of scripted, dramatized content. While many other channels opted for quick entertainment, Matt focused on technical depth and real-world processes. Videos could last dozens of minutes, revolving around disassembling a part, cleaning every screw, greasing the gears, and testing the engine. No cuts to speed things up, no visual effects, everything as it happens. And that raw truth creates a sense of absolute trust. One of his most memorable projects was the restoration of a 1964 Jeep CJ5. The car had only one owner, had been in storage for decades, and was virtually useless. In a series of videos, Matt gradually brought it back to running condition. The process required not only technical skills, but also patience, as many parts were rusted, broken, or not easily replaceable. But he kept to the principle: never give up. Never replace what can be restored. Another example is the old auto car truck, a project that many people thought Matt would never be able to complete because of the absolute level of damage. But each video posted shows the entire process of dismantling, inspecting, welding, and reassembling the control system. The shots of Matt with oily hands, lying under the chassis, and trying to start the car for the third time after 2 failures do not require emotional voiceover. The viewer can feel the level of commitment in each operation. Diesel Creek doesn't follow a fixed schedule like commercial YouTube channels. There are videos every week. There are periods when there are videos every 2 weeks. But each time they appear, they bring a full content, not repetitive, not rehashing old projects to waste time. This makes the audience tend to be more patient. They don't demand continuity, they expect quality. Matt set that standard from the beginning, and he has maintained it throughout the development of the channel. Professionalism comes not from the rendering techniques, but from the actual process. Every time Matt makes a technical decision, he clearly explains why he chose that option, sometimes even describing the risks and how to fix it if it fails. This makes the video a hands-on technical class, but not dry. Viewers don't just see the results, they see the thought process, the mistakes that happen midway through, and how Matt adjusts his strategy when problems arise. At the same time, Matt was also investing in new infrastructure. The project was to build a larger, taller workshop, with a solid foundation and ceilings high enough to accommodate heavy equipment. He didn't make any big announcements, just short video updates. Walls were built, ceilings were installed, machines began moving in, and Diesel Creek entered a new phase from a family workshop to a place that could handle specialized, industrial-grade mechanical projects. Each resurrected machine is more than just a technical achievement. It's a testament to the Diesel Creek way of life: relentless improvement. No gimmicks, just consistent quality on every real project. And Matt Stetar, the man behind it all, remains true to his original mindset, doing every job right. Whether it's removing a sprocket or rebuilding the entire drivetrain of a 50-year-old piece of equipment. Invisible connections with millions of strangers. Not every YouTuber can build a loyal community without being visible, sharing their personal lives, or appearing in media campaigns. But Matt Stetar does. Diesel Creek attracts viewers with quality content, keeps them with consistency, and creates a kind of connection that doesn't require many words. Each follower is more than just an audience. They feel like they're part of the space, even if they're thousands of miles away. The comments on the videos always have something in common. Viewers don't just talk about the machines. They talk about what they learned from Matt, what they tried after watching a video, and they thank him for seeing the whole process from start to finish. This is no coincidence. Matt never teaches his audience the way a traditional teacher would. He just shows how he approaches a problem, chooses tools, calculates operations, and fixes errors. No slogans, no prepackaged lessons, no over-the-top advice, but the more people watch, the more they take away something for themselves. Diesel Creek's community connection doesn't come from Facebook groups, fan forums, or live streams, the usual suspects in the content creation world. It happens quietly. A mechanic watches videos after work. A mechanical engineer shares clips with his students. A father shows his son a Jeep restoration to pass on his love of machines. These connections don't require organization, no engagement campaign. They happen organically because the content is real enough, valuable enough, and consistent enough to keep people engaged. In his rare appearances outside of Diesel Creek, like on the Essential Craftsman podcast, and A Few Points from Perfect, Matt has kept to his usual tone, straight to the point, saying exactly what he needs to say. No embellishments, no pretense. He shares how he got started on YouTube, why he chooses to keep a low profile, and how he feels. Viewers don't need to know everything about creators. They just need to know that the content is real and useful. These appearances don't change his image, but rather reinforce it. This is a real craftsman who just happens to use YouTube as a tool to document his work. What also sets Matt apart is how he's maintained the channel's identity over the years. While many other engineering YouTube channels have moved on to more viral content, weird experiments, funny reactions, lifestyle vlogs, Diesel Creek has stuck to heavy, long-form, and expertly written projects. This gives viewers more confidence. They know that when they click on a new Diesel Creek video, they're not getting a gimmick. They're seeing a real project, a real problem, and a real process. The most important thing Diesel Creek creates is not just good videos, it's a real technical space where viewers aren't bothered by drama, advertising, or gimmicks. They get to see a real person doing the work, and in it, they find inspiration to continue doing their own good work. That's why, without any publicity, without much exposure, Matt Stetar has always held a special place in the hearts of millions of strangers who clicked on his first video. No spotlight needed. Just keep running. Matt Stetar doesn't need to talk about his future plans. What he's doing is the most obvious answer. While many people are still looking for ways to keep the online spotlight, Matt is quietly expanding Diesel Creek's operations with long-term investments. His new workshop is designed to handle large-scale projects, with space for heavy machinery, electrical systems, a solid concrete foundation, and the ability to upgrade to specialized equipment. Each photo posted to Instagram shows steady, step-by-step progress, no explanation needed. This is more than just a physical expansion. It's a shift in the way we think about content production. With the new infrastructure, Matt can tackle more complex, diverse projects, from heavy-duty truck restorations to redesigning old hydraulic systems. Having a fully equipped workshop reduces construction time, increases the quality of the footage, and reduces the reliance on weather conditions. It's a path that only those with a long-term vision will take, not for immediate results, but to ensure Diesel Creek continues to operate reliably for years to come. Matt doesn't chase trends. He doesn't tweak his content to fit the algorithm, or change his style to attract more viewers. Instead, he stays true to his roots, honest, detailed, and real. This not only keeps his core audience, but also creates a natural attraction for new audiences who are looking for a technical channel with real value. Diesel Creek branded merchandise continues to evolve, with each update focused not on maximizing profits, but on offering genuine value to a growing and tight-knit community. Every improvement in quality, whether it's a sturdier t-shirt fabric, a better fitting cap, or a more durable hoodie, is made with practicality in mind. These aren't just products, they are tools, uniforms, and symbols that reflect the spirit of the Diesel Creek community. A t-shirt, for example, is far more than just a souvenir or casual wear. It represents a set of deeply held values: hard work, resilience, attention to detail, and the commitment to never give up halfway through a job. It's a quiet but powerful emblem of a work ethic shared by builders, makers, doers, and thinkers who take pride in doing things the right way, even when it's the hard way. If you've stuck with Matt Stetar's repair videos, you probably understand why consistency and pure engineering are so appealing. Diesel Creek isn't a channel that changes rapidly to keep views. It's grown on its own terms, steadfast, straightforward, and ever-evolving. Matt is still there, in the middle of the same old engines, doing the same thing he always has. If you found value in that journey, please like to show your support, share to spread the spirit of realism, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on future projects. Don't forget to leave a comment. Your feedback is what keeps the Diesel Creek community alive and growing.